The gods fell in love too. You may think that love makes you weak. You may believe that to love is to lose control, to fall, to expose yourself to something unpredictable and dangerous. But if that were true, why did the gods fall in love? The gods already had everything. They had power that shaped worlds, immortality that stretched beyond time, and glory carved into the heavens. And yet, they still longed for someone. They broke their own rules, crossed forbidden boundaries, and wept in silence when love slipped from their grasp. Because even for the divine, love was worth everything. Love does not only belong to mortals, it reaches into the highest realms and humbles even the most powerful beings. In Hindu mythology, Shiva is the great ascetic, a god who turns away from the world and enters stillness for centuries, seeking nothing, needing no one, dissolving into cosmic detachment. But everything changes when he sees Parvati. She does not chase after him. She does not beg or plead. She becomes the embodiment of devotion, strong and still, graceful and unshaken, and her presence alone draws him from his silence. When Shiva opens his eyes, the universe trembles, not because he is weakened, but because he is awakening. He does not fall into her. He rises through her. He does not lose himself. He becomes fully who he was always meant to be, because real love does not shrink you, it completes you. In Norse mythology, Freya is the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility, a figure of power and radiance. Yet even she is not immune to longing. She falls in love with Other, a mysterious god who disappears. And while some believe he is Odin in another form, and others think he is lost to myth entirely, none of that matters in the face of her devotion. Freya searches across all the worlds, crying tears that turn to gold, changing her form, moving through mist and story in pursuit of the one her heart cannot forget. Whether she finds him or not is never the point, because even as a goddess, she becomes the seeker, and even in all her strength, she becomes the one who aches. Love does not shield her or make her untouchable. It opens her, and in that opening, she becomes more divine, not less. In the ancient myths of Sumer, Inanna is queen of heaven, ruler of sky and starlight, a divine force of life and fertility and cosmic rhythm. Yet she chooses to descend into the underworld, not to conquer, not to control, but to reach Dumuzi, the beloved she cannot leave behind. To find him, she must pass through 7 gates, and at each one she is asked to surrender something sacred, her crown, her robe, her protection, until nothing remains but the naked truth of who she is. She arrives in the land of the dead, stripped of every symbol of her power, and there she dies. But she does not stay dead. She returns, changed not just by love but by loss, not just by sacrifice but by the transformation that only darkness can teach. Love took her into the deep, but love also brought her back. In Greek mythology, love is not always gentle or kind. Eros, the god of love, is not a tender muse of affection. He is a wild and chaotic force that disrupts even the divine with desire that burns through reason. Psyche, a mortal woman, is caught in his gravity, drawn into a love she cannot see, told she must never look upon his face, that she must love without knowing. But her longing for truth outweighs her fear of loss. She lights a lamp, sees his face in the flickering glow, and in that moment he vanishes. Yet Psyche does not collapse. She undertakes impossible trials, journeys into the unknown, descends into the underworld, and in every ordeal she becomes more than she once was. She wins him back, not through pleading or tears, but through transformation. Because real love does not allow you to stay who you were, It demands that you grow, that you shed your illusions, that you rise. In today's world, love is often portrayed as something fragile, sentimental, or naive, as something that belongs to poets and dreamers, but not to those who seek truth or power. But the ancient stories tell us something else entirely. Love is not comfort. It is not control. It is not an escape from reality, but an entrance into it. Love is fire, not in its violence, but in its honesty. It burns away illusion and demands the death of everything false. It does not reinforce the ego, it dissolves it. It is not about completing someone else. It is about allowing yourself to be undone, reformed, made new, not because you are lacking, but because reverence reshapes what it touches. The gods knew this, and still they chose to love. If you have been told that love is weakness, remember that the gods had eternity. They had cosmic thrones and star-born crowns. They had authority that bent the laws of time, and yet they still chose to love. They opened themselves to longing, to grief, to the sweetness of joy and the sorrow of loss. They gave themselves to something they could not control, and they did not regret it. Because love is not weakness, it is the mirror that shows you who you are beneath all the masks. It is the fire that burns away illusion and leaves you whole. It is the path that even gods must walk to return home. You are not less because you love. You are not foolish because you care. You are walking the same road the divine once chose, and in that you are already sacred.